guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Ready's Rise. We're back here at Loki Nissan in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? We have that big bad mamma jamma that has an all-new look, both inside and out. What is it? It's that 2025 Nissan Armada. This particular one is an SL trim, and we have four-wheel drive. But before we get into this super size, super changed up SUV from Nissan, let's talk about what's going on here. So it goes back to 2003. That was the birth of the Nissan Armada. Now, around the world, they had or have an SUV called the Nissan Patrol. Nissan Patrol's been around since the 1950s. For the first time in a long time, our Armada, sold here in the United States, is on the same playing field as the Nissan Patrol that is sold in other parts of the world. So what does that mean? That means you're gonna get that steel box frame and you're getting some rugged four-wheel drive capability. Now, in this full-size SUV segment, there's some pretty big darn, or I should say, pretty darn big players. You got the Tahoe. You have, of course, the Expedition. And then you have others like the Lexus LX and the Infiniti QX80. But what I want to find out is, if you're looking for the best of the best, do you go with this Nissan Armada? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive into ours and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, I love this color. It's all new, it's called Alpine, and it really fits the attitude of the new Armada. All new lighting design. So you're gonna have your LED headlights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals, all nicely styled in a very, very modern looking headlight housing. Working our way down on the SL trim, you do have some bright, shiny chrome style. And then you'll notice that on this one, you don't have fog lamps, but you do have functional corner air curtains. I wish that on the SL trim, they would have gave us fog lamps, especially for when you hear the price of this vehicle. But definitely my favorite part is this Alpine color, and it is an optional color, which does come with an optional price. But let me know what you think about the lighting and the design so far of the Armada. Coming across that V-Motion grille, one of the things that, if you didn't notice, the chrome style trim on the brow actually flows perfectly lined up into the shiny touches on the interior of the headlight housing. Then you have your two other horizontal chrome style bars. Thankfully, not too much shiny chrome. Forward-facing camera hidden in that Nissan badge. We got a fully functional upper grille, gloss black. Working our way down, you do have a flat black grille with functionality, because remember, we have intercoolers lurking behind that lower grille, because this is our twin turbocharged intercooled full-size SUV. And I like the way they sculpted that lower bumper area. But let me know what you think about the face of this new Armada, especially compared to, say, the top-selling Chevy Tahoe. Now, as we rise up, I love the big, bold aircraft carrier-style hood. It's got a nice little slight bend to meet with the top of that grille area. And then as we come around the bend, of course, if we have a new front end, new sheet metal, we got to have new wheels and new tires. So what you're going to find on this SL trim is a gloss black machined aluminum multi-spoke wheel all the way around. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? 20-inch wheel. We do have adaptive air ride suspension. And of course, like I said, this is rear-wheel drive based, but ours has four-wheel drive. Tires all the way around are 275 on the width, beefy 60 series sidewall, and look at this, no flat black around the fender openings. I absolutely love that, all color matched in Alpine. Now, coming down the side, you do have the venting, gloss black with a little bit of the shiny stuff, just like up front. You have your gloss black on your mirror caps, LED turn signals, and our 360-degree cameras. From the side of the vehicle, I always like to refer to these as a Japanese tank, because that's what it looks like. You have your aluminum-style roof rails with the crossbars. We have just a little bit of dark aluminum trim along the bottom. And if you notice, color matched on the door handles with our fixed running boards. This type of running board gives the Armada its signature look, and that's how it is on all the trims. Now, working towards our rear, Love that nice large quarter window. We got our Armada name badge. Like the way they put that on that rear pillar. And then spinning around back, they did it right, because guess what? Hidden wiper. The rear wiper is tucked underneath nicely. You got a long roof spoiler. Look at how clean the back is. Just a little bit of gloss black, a little bit of chrome style. The Armada name, SL trim, like I said. And then working our way down to ground level, digging how they did the lower bumper area. Now this cover does come off because you do have full tow capability, but we'll pop the hood now. Let me know what you think about the outside, but we'll pop the hood and talk about horsepower and capability of this new Armada. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts underneath the hood, tasteful engine cover, and that's where you're gonna find that new power plant. Twin turbo V6. It's a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbocharged engine, 425 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. The great news is it runs on 87 octane. So you do not have to use premium on this engine. Made it to a 9-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds. Top speed 120 miles an hour. MPGs 16 in the city, 20 on the highway. The car weighs right around 6,100 pounds, but it could tow up to 8,500 pounds. So when you look at a Tahoe, Tahoe has a diesel option. You got naturally aspirated V8. This just comes with one engine plant and one only. That power plant is that twin turbo V6. It's kind of interesting the way Nissan chose to go in this direction. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up the Armada and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are in it to win it. We're inside this 2025 Nissan Armada SL trim. Now remember that this is an SL trim. It is not the top Platinum Reserve. So when I take you on the little tour here, keep your expectations in check. But I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I've been wanting a new freaking SUV, and the bigger the better. And I prefer my SUVs to be from a Japanese car company. That's just me. How much is this? Very good question. MSRP for this particular one is right at $70,000. That's with the 4x4 option. But why don't we see what else you get when you go SL trim? To the door panels. I do love the materials. Soft touch throughout. You got a little bit of that dark chocolate brown just to kind of spice things up. We have the premium sound system, that Klipsch premium sound system. And working your way down on the armrest, soft touch with the contrast stitching. Door pocket is decent. You could probably put, I would say, 4 tacos in there and 64 fluid ounces of Pepsi to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch. I love the way they did that chocolate brown there. A little bit of wood trim, also nice. Down below, you got a supersized banana hammock. You can actually put a plantain in here. That's how big that banana hammock is. And we have our little pass-through storage area for a purse, a sack, a satchel, a hat, even a big fat wallet you could put in there. And then you have your infotainment system. Now this is your standard. This is not the optional larger infotainment system, which is 14 inches. This is 12.3. And that's why you're seeing a lot of dead space around that. But it's still 12.3 inches, full touchscreen. You got your navigation. You got your heated seats, no ventilated seats, and your dual climate control. You can pull up all the different apps. Very easy to figure out. Nice, quick action going on, back and forth, back and forth. Look at that. Not a problem. Also, when we throw it into reverse, we got better resolution. So trajectory, 360. You can change the angles very easily. And then we'll go right back into park. And I like the fact that this is soft touch, so if you're resting your hand here, it's not that big of a deal. It's gonna feel good as you're driving down the road. Real volume knob. We got our front camera. You just hit that and it turns on our front camera. Very easy. We also have our different drive modes, and I'll show you that when you come to the business end. Look at all those. Plus hill descent control, physical buttons. So we still have accessibility to our heated seats, all with the buttons, the dual climate control. Love the switchgear heated steering wheel. This is for your 4x4, and this is for your 9-speed automatic. Love the way they did this wood trim on the sliding door. wireless charging, 2 USB-Cs, 2 cup holders. You got the Armada name stamped in there very nicely. More of that great material. Open sesame. What do we got going on in there? You could probably put, I would say, 6 of your favorite books. You know, I have to admit, recently I have fallen back in love with reading. For a while, I didn't do much reading in actual books. But now I've rediscovered my love for reading. And you could keep 6 of your favorite books in there. Maybe Catcher in the Rye, maybe A Tale of Two Cities, maybe even Stephen's favorite, Beowulf. You could keep those in there. And then what's nice is you could put your bookmarks, maybe you need some reading glasses, or maybe even like a little clip-on light. That could be like your little library. Do people even know what a library is anymore? Seats, the leather, the two-tone, they did a great job on these seats. I love them. Zero gravity with full power assist for the passenger, full power assist for the driver. You're not getting it for 70 grand in this Armada, no sunroof. I think a standard size sunroof would have been nice for $70,000. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the new wheel in this new Armada. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat, and I do like how easy it is to get to those seat controls. Look at all the nice touches. They really elevated their game when it comes to bringing nice materials in this new Armada. I'm 6 feet tall, tons of room, steering wheel, all new. You do have thumb controls, some gloss black, which isn't my favorite, but I'll let it slide. Decent looking horn button. Paddles to go up and down that new 9-speed automatic. And you have an electric tilting and telescoping wheel. More wood. You can rub your wood after a hard day at work. And then there's that standard 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. Easy to change up the views and whatever you want to bring very easily with that setup. And you have, oh, I almost forgot the different modes. So Steven's going to zoom back in. I know that annoys him, but oh well. Standard, Eco, Sport. The list goes on and on and on. So really, really digging how many freaking different modes. We're going to go Sport. That's how I operate. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid row and the third row and see what this Armada brings for $70,000. All right, guys, back seat time. And I tell you, for a mid row, this is pretty darn nice. The comfort level is great. The seats are awesome. Backs of the seats, you do have large pockets. You could put maybe One Eye Willie's treasure map in there if you're looking for a little buried treasure to pay for this thing. 2 USB-Cs, a 12 volt, and we have our AC controls. Easy to get to. I'm sitting back here, like I said, 6 feet tall, feel great. Got a nice little handle to hold on to, a little choice. It could be like this, it could be like this. Real easy. Whoa, seats recline. And they do slide. So I got my little one slider, and then also this one slides as well. So that's really great. And then pull that bad boy down. Nice soft armrest with 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into that third row and see if it's gonna be comfy for a grown-up adult to sit back there in this Armada. All right, guys, third row time, and boy, oh boy, did Nissan make a big improvement. Just as big as this Nissan Armada is. I'm still 6 feet tall, plenty of room. Got AC vents, you got a USB-C, 2 large cup holders, and then watch this, it gets even better. Power recliners in this SL trim makes it even more comfortable back here. But is it enough? We're gonna find out. Let's get in that cargo area and see what we can stuff in this new Nissan. All right, guys, time for that cargo area. We're gonna hit the button. Nice electric assist, rises on up. What you're gonna be greeted to is 20 cubic feet of space with that third row up. Not too shabby. You do have a home power source. And then, of course, to fold down the rear seats, we have our switch gear on the passenger side. So it's one-touch operation, 60-40 split. That's gonna drop down. That's gonna give us, believe it or not, 57 cubic feet of space. You fold down that mid-row, it's gonna give you 97 cubic feet of space. Love the way it's nice and flat. Here's where I was trying to show you underneath. You do have your USB-C, 2 large cup holders for your super Slurpees. And then let's see if we have anything underneath. Ooh, got a little bit of storage. So you could put, I would say, a box of Twinkies and then fill in the rest with some Swiss cake rolls. Maybe drink a big old bottle of Swiss Miss. I'm not doing that now because it's just a little too hot. But what I want to do is I want to get you in the passenger seat. And if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in this new Armada. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Nissan Armada, totally redesigned. Right away, the comfort level is freaking amazing in this Armada. I love these seats. They are so good, especially on longer trips. Fantastic visibility out the front, out the back. Easy to get to the infotainment system screen. And then the fact that they still give us some old school buttons and switches is just, it's very comforting. Maybe you don't love the push button transmission, but you got your 9-speed right here with the 4x4. And overall, you're gonna be blown away with the ride quality in this thing. That adaptive air ride suspension, the 9-speed automatic, really just does a great job. It's paired nicely with that twin turbo V6. And then you have the new premium sound system. I mean, they're really trying to elevate your expectations inside the new Armada. And I think they did a really good job. I mean, especially when it comes to the looks, looking out over the hood, it's nice and broad, but it's easy to know where your dimensions are to this thing when you're parking it, when you're driving it. And then of course, having room for others. That mid-row, sitting 3 across, really a lot of great flexibility. In that third row, having the power recline is freaking fantastic. But we're gonna go on throttle here and see how the V6 is. On throttle, here we go. Drops down and we're off. Now, of course, with the different modes, it's going to adjust the steering sensitivity, throttle sensitivity, and how the 9-speed behaves with the V6 twin turbocharged engine. But definitely has plenty of pep. I'll be honest, I do miss the V8 rumble, but listen, I get it. I understand why they had to make the switch. And they weren't the first. I mean, Lincoln and Ford have been using their EcoBoost power plants for a while now, so that's nothing new. But going down the road, it's super smooth, very quiet inside, and very, very comfortable. They really banged out of the park with the drivability of this thing. The 4x4 system is in auto, and you just feel in command. You just feel in command of this Japanese tank. We're gonna go ahead and go on throttle from a dead stop. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go, yeah! Nice, the smaller turbos build up the boost and we are off. But very, very impressed. It's not really bouncy, it's not swaying all over the place. Really planted for a larger SUV. And then you have the easy to read instrumentation, which is crazy because you would think without some type of hood, there would be glare all over the screens. There is not. There's not one bit of glare. It is that incredible. And if you haven't driven a full-size SUV, I think the Armada really comes in nicely with the dimensions and of course with the camera technology. Having that forward-facing camera, having the 360-degree camera. Brakes feel good. Not a lot of nosedive under heavy braking. But it's the quality of what you're hearing on the interior, which sounds fantastic. With the rigidity of the chassis, with the addition of sound deadening material and better sound deadening material, this thing, the interior sound is really fantastic. Much better than a Tahoe, I can tell you that right now. But whether you're driving it on a big road, tight roads, it feels really, really good. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what this new Nissan Armada is bringing. We're gonna go ahead and get back to Loki Nissan and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways. We definitely got to thank everybody at Loki Nissan, of course, Alon, Adam, and the rest of the crew. Now it's your turn to let me know what you think. Is Nissan bringing it big with this Armada? Better than, say, a Tahoe? Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Gotta give up to Stephen Flood, working that camera like a champ, flexing his guns. He is the gun show. That's his other nickname. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.